Well, I'm a financial advisor, so I have my own business. I'm an independent financial advisor, so I work for myself. I have another financial advisor that works for me, and basically I help people manage their finances now and in retirement.
That's awesome. See, this is perfect. You're doing great. Um, okay, and then so this is the question that, the reason I'm doing this kind of. So, how did the program prepare you or not for what you're doing today?
Yeah, a couple of the things that I've always thought about that the program did very well was it helps you to identify people's learning styles. And so just I'm kind of an educator when it comes to helping people learn how the financial structure works and how their financial picture fits together. And so I spend a lot of time kind of figuring out how it's best for me to make sure that they understand what we're talking about, both from a product standpoint, but also from a cost structure, right? How they're paying for what they're getting and those types of things. So learning people's different, or understanding people's different learning styles is really important to what I do now. And that was a huge part, of what we did in school. The other thing that I would say that really stands out to me is kind of, in PE, you're teaching them skills that they need to know, but you're trying to do it in creative ways and make it interesting and fun.
Yeah.
And so, kind of that element of play, right? Like everything we do has an element of play, and I kind of bring that into the finance world too. Like I hope that they have fun when they come in here and we learn about something. It's not something that they dread. I remember that Tuesday nights was 10-cent wings nights at Brothers, and they had this amazing sauce that we all loved a ton, and we were trying to figure out what they made it, but they wouldn't tell anybody, right? So Steve spent probably a month or 2 months trying to mix ingredients together in his fridge to make this special sauce, and he was convinced, he swore up and down that he made it, and he wouldn't tell anybody how. So finally he had us over to try this sauce, and it was the nastiest thing that I've ever eaten. And he was sitting there with this look on his face like, I've done it, I've cracked it, the puzzle is solved, I made the special sauce from Brothers. And he definitely did not. I'll tell a different story.
Okay.
So there was one class that we had to take that was kind of an interpretive dance class, which was very out of character for almost everybody. And I remember that there was basically a competition, right? That wasn't a competition, but it turned into one. But you had to basically pretend that you were an egg and that you were a hatching egg. And I remember thinking at the time, this will forever be a story that I tell about my experience at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, that I'm on the floor, wrapped up in a ball, trying to break out as an egg. And I remember specifically that Drew Slemkes, who was in our class, was easily the best hatching egg that I've ever seen in my life, because it took him probably 25 minutes to hatch out. And we almost called the hospital because it looked a little bit like he was having a seizure. But it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. My stomach hurt when I left the class, and I don't think the teacher knew what to do with us.
So funny.
Tim Gattenby has us in the water.
Yeah.
And we're doing canoeing. And he's trying to teach us how to do a roll in the canoe. And part of the canoe paddle, one of the faces of the paddle is called the power face. And so he looks at Jackie Friesen, who's sitting in the canoe, and he goes, okay, show me your power face. And Jackie looks at him and goes, 100% thinking that that's what he meant. He wanted to see her motivated face to do a roll.